How do you put an end to it? Well, you learn how to feel. First, over here with yourself. Most passive-aggressive people have learned how to be highly critical of themselves, because as soon as that feeling comes up, they're like, can't do that on the outside, better nip it in the bud on the inside. And they putting an end to passive-aggressive behavior. How do you do it? That is your question. Allana Pratt here, intimacy expert, host of the podcast, Intimate Conversations. Please go subscribe, check it out. I'm sure there's a podcast with somebody who's going to address exactly what you are going through now. So back to your question about passive-aggressive. Let's first kind of talk about what that is. Passive, so you're not taking an action. Aggressive, you are being mean, aggressive, kind of cruel. Why in the world would we even do that in the first place? Well, most of the time, as little ones, we would say, I'm scared, I'm sad, I'm mad, right? We'd say your basic emotions, and it wasn't okay. We weren't listened to. We were told, don't cry, get over it, buck up, whatever we were told. Basically, somewhere along the way, it was not okay to feel. And not that our parents are evil. They can only provide us what they've cultivated within themselves. So if their parents weren't there to listen to them, be compassionate, have empathy, and support the integration of emotions into strengths, if they didn't have those capacities, they couldn't be there for us. And so we learn to stuff it. We learn to push down our anger until we're either depressed or we're passive aggressive. We learn to push down those emotions and get addicted. Drugs, alcohol, work, porn, shopping, whatever, all these different ways to cover up how we feel. Because we've been told feeling is no bueno, not okay. And so what was your question? How do you put an end to it? Well, you learn how to feel. First, over here with yourself. Most passive-aggressive people have learned how to be highly critical of themselves, because as soon as that feeling comes up, they're like, can't do that on the outside, better nip it in the bud on the inside. And they speak very cruelly to themselves. They're highly critical of themselves. They refuse to forgive themselves. So the very first place is to start inside. I call it little you. I have 10, a whole framework, 10 Allana Pratt method processes that I've developed over the past 20 years that support so many of these sabotaging patterns. One of them being, how do we integrate unprocessed anger, passive aggressiveness against ourselves or others? So I've developed an incredible way to be able to integrate this, not just to get it, the energy, the trigger, that stuck energy inside of you, integrated, processed, and resolved, but all the way through to the beautiful lesson that was meant to be learned, but you never learned it because you were little and nobody was there to coach you through it. And so if you go all the way through, you'll see, oh my God, that experience happened for my growth. The very worst was meant to bring out the very best in me. This happened for me to become more in allowance, more surrendered, more brave, speaking up. It was meant to give you a superpower. It was meant to help you evolve. And when you get through the whole process, no longer is that unprocessed anger stuck in you that goes out and kills off your relationships. And there you are, single again, divorced again, not safe for the kids to talk to again, fired again, whatever it was, because that's what passive aggressive does. It creates separation. Or it attracts another passive aggressive person who's just as mean to you as you are to them. Okay? So what'll happen is your life will begin to shift in a more positive way. You'll have closer, intimate relationships. People will trust you. You'll be safe to be around. Why? Because there's now safety on the inside for your own self to be with your own self. There's no separation on the inside anymore. You're home on the inside, safe within your skin, safe on the planet. Come what may, you can be with it. And that allows you to be very magnetic on a personal level, professional level, romantic level, parental level, and also a spiritual level, right? If we are hating on ourselves, criticizing ourselves, feeling guilty that we're passive aggressive with others, feeling ashamed, all that, it's very low vibration. And spirit, oneness, is a very high vibration. So we're disconnecting ourselves from our divine home, from our soul, from our spirit, from our ascension. We're thwarting our capacity for our soul's evolution by these low vibrations. So all of the work to integrate the behavior of passive aggressive turns out to give you a massive ROI in all areas of your life, which is amazing. And a sense of healthy pride on the inside, and a sense of leadership and inspiration to others of like, there's something different about you. I feel safer to be with you. You're really inspiring me the way you handle this. Do you want to go on a date? Do you want to have sex? Do you want to work for my company? Like all this good stuff starts to happen, all from being willing to go, you know what? I am passive aggressive, or I attract passive aggressive people, and I'm the only one in common. Let me see what's going on. Let me do the work. And when we can take the reins of our life back and really take ownership without judgment, but ownership, and do the work and sit in the fire and learn to integrate our wounds and open our heart, it feels good to be who you are. And on a scientific level, we could measure that as coherence. It's through feeling, not thinking, feeling, all these processes. And it allows us to have our intuition be louder, which feels like I know what I know. I trust myself. So I feel safe with myself on the planet. Game changer. And it also brings out the best of your brain. We're not always in fight or flight or freeze, triggered all the time, killing before we get killed, destroying relationships. We're using the best of our capacity to create, to think outside the box, to be willing to sit in the fire and keep our heart open and see what else is possible. This is all from the inside out. This is all about your intimate relationship with yourself. Yeah, that's why after 20 years of life coach, then relationship coach, I settled, maybe it's like 7 years or so now, I don't remember how long it's been, but I settled on intimacy as what I choose. I mean, I'm twice divorced. I'm not going to say I'm a marriage expert, right? But intimacy, that one, I'm damn straight I'm good at. Why? Because I've learned how to love and stop hating myself, learned how to forgive myself, and I keep growing. I never get there. I don't think I'm holier than thou or superior. I'm damn good at what I do. And I'm always a student, and thus a safe place for others to be themselves. And so I encourage you, we have an incredible community, heartmates.app, for singles or for couples, online community, live conscious connection calls every week where you practice this level of vulnerable, transparent communication and profound listening where you don't interrupt, you don't justify, you don't make excuses, you just listen for the sake of understanding. Oh my God, that's hot. Let me tell you. How good does it feel to be interrupted all the time, right? So there's that. And we also have group coaching. We also have private coaching with me or my Allana Pratt Method coaches. We also have epic retreats. So fun. So good to be together. And a community where if your relationship is on the rocks, it's going to get stronger. If you're single, you're going to meet other amazing single people. Now, some have fallen in love. We're not a hookup joint by any stretch of the imagination. We're a community where we're all committed to becoming the one, to find the one, which is this one first, right? And then thrive with the one, keep the one, grow over time with the one. And even if your relationship, when you start to do the work, you've decided that, wow, this sacred contract is complete. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to blame. You don't have to have an affair and blow it up. You can consciously uncouple with gratitude and kindness in a safe community. This is what we're about. It's a beautiful family, maybe more conscious than your own personal family, which are great teachers. So nothing's wrong there. But my God, it feels good to not feel like the black sheep anymore, to find your people, find your tribe, and grow together. Because every single group call, my God, every single person's evolution on that call, you all grow from it together. And so it's amazing that exactly what you needed to hear, someone else is working on that, and you leave the call exponentially expanded, deepened, opened. So we welcome you. AllanaPratt.com/connect would be a great way to start. All my love.